Welcome back to my channel. This is your first time visiting with me because of the title of this video. Please make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell. That way you're notified whenever I upload a video. So my reason for having a sit and chat with you today, I really haven't done much this week. I put a video out on Wednesday of what I had done from Sunday to Tuesday. Since then, I've really just been doing nothing but painting. Didn't really want to record myself painting because I just knew that would be boring. So I figured for this week I'll just give you a sit and chat. I've been doing a lot of research on what other things I can do to help increase my chances of conceiving, and I figured that this would be a great time to share it with you since we're about to move into my next rounds of IUI real soon. So the first thing I want to talk with you guys about are some supplements that I found out about. I watch a channel called Vasa Beauty. Brittany, the person whose channel it is, she is going to start trying for baby number 2 sometime this summer. And for baby number 1, she had about 7 months of her just trying to conceive where she was not successful. And for some people that doesn't seem like a long time. For me it does, because especially when you're married and you have a mate and you're able to practice every night, every time you ovulate. Like 7 months is a long time to come up empty-handed. So she said that there were some things that she did, and she's very holistic and into like being vegan and doing natural things. So I was like, well, let me see what she has to say. And some of the stuff I already knew about, and then there were things that I didn't know about. So I figured I would share some of that with you before we jump into my next option. So the first option again is just for me to look at what I can do holistically. I definitely need to start working out again and just getting that blood flowing throughout my body. Like that helps with detoxification. It just helps with oxygen flow. It just helps. Like it helps with stress. It helps with so much. Definitely helps with the blood flow in your pelvic region for conception. So the first thing that I am going to start doing is working out. I'm actually sharing 5 of my most impactful workouts in my blog on Tuesday, so make sure you check that out. The second thing is looking at the supplements that I'm taking. Now, I do not eat red meat. I have not eaten red meat for over 10 years now. So I'm just poultry, seafood as far as my main source of protein. So there are a lot of things that I'm not getting from the meats that normally would provide it. So I do like to look at different supplements, and I'm also not a big vegetable eater. Like my students, if you don't know, I'm also a teacher. My students are always like, oh yeah, Miss Hemingway is a vegetarian. I'm like, I'm not. I don't even like vegetables, so I'm not. So I eat like the same vegetables over and over again. Thankfully, I love my leafy greens. I love them, so I'm definitely getting in my green vegetables. Spinach is my favorite. I'm eating kale. I eat mustard greens, and that's pretty much about it when we're looking at the leafy greens out there. I don't like collards. I don't like turnip greens, and then lettuce is just not really anything, and you can't eat romaine now because of the E. coli. So that's that. And then I'll also eat like some broccoli and maybe some string beans or green beans, depending on what region of America you're from will determine what you call them. But yeah, I'll eat those every now and again. I don't, look at my face, I don't really like green beans either, and I don't eat any beans. I don't eat beans at all. So like when it comes to different vegetables, I'm very picky, and therefore I need certain supplements to help offset what I'm not getting naturally in my diet. So I'm okay with some supplements. You know, I don't like to take meds, and supplements are just a different form of medication. So I'm really picky. So I really want to make sure that whatever I'm sharing with you is something that you can get that will be organic. So the first thing is Vitex supplement. Vitex supplement. Now this is something that I've never heard of before. First time hearing about it was from Vasa Beauty. Like I mentioned that I got some things from her. And it is known to help build your uterine lining. Now if you have been with me on this journey thus far, then you know that I've had 4 unsuccessful rounds of IUI. The first round leading to a very short-lived pregnancy, and then a miscarriage, and then the other 3 just were not successful at all. So for me, we're still trying to figure out what is the cause, what is the problem, or is it just not my time, which can also be a factor. So I'm okay with taking something that will help build a lining, especially after that first miscarriage. It's also known to regulate hormones. Now, I did have my day 3 blood work done last year around this time, and my blood work came back fine for all the hormone levels that are checked within that blood work. However, when you're stressed, stress will make your hormones irregulated. So therefore, I am fine with taking something that's going to help regulate my hormones throughout the rest of my body, because as a teacher, we're going into testing time. I am stressing out, and even packing up and getting ready to leave, because this is going to be my last year at my current school. Like, there's a whole lot of stress going on, especially with me even finding a new school to teach at, and I just don't need any extra things causing my hormones to be all out of whack. So I'm all down with this Vitex that I'm just going to order it from Amazon. The next thing is turmeric, which is not really associated with trying to conceive. However, it helps with inflammation, and it also helps with just keeping you cool, calm, and relaxed. And I am all about relaxing and not being stressed. Omega-3 is something that I've known about for some time. It is in the prenatal vitamins that I am taking. I stopped taking just the prenatal vitamins and made sure that the ones that I take have the omega-3 in it, and it is prenatal plus DHA. That way that the omega-3 is already in there, which was one of the reasons why it was so hard for me to find some prenatal vitamins, because the ones with omega-3, for most of them, require you to take 2 or 3 of those big horse pills. So I finally found a brand, and I think it's like Nature's Way or something, that I got from Walmart for about $12, where it's just one pill and it has the omega-3 in it already. And omega-3 is great for not only your brain function, but it is great for brain development within your fetus if you are pregnant. So omega-3, healthy way to help with your memory, your brain function, and it's also beneficial for your baby. And the last supplement that I'm going to share with you, of course, there's prenatal vitamins. I'm not even going to mention that. Well, I'm not going to go any further into that, because that's kind of like an obvious. You should be taking prenatal vitamins. So the last one that I'm sharing is vitamin D. Oh my gosh, like, I didn't even know that there was a supplement for that, and I guess I should have known, because there's one for pretty much all the vitamins. But I didn't even know that I had an issue with vitamin D, other than the fact that I don't do the sun. Coming from the winter months, that is really going to be a time when your body is going to be deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin D is very helpful when you're looking at regulating your hormones, and like I said, the winter times is a great time for you to take vitamin D, but also make sure that if you're trying to conceive, you've done your blood work to check to see if your levels are low. When I first went to my fertility doctor, that was the only thing that came back in my blood work that day. That was the first blood test that I had done, was that my vitamin D was low, and I had to immediately start taking it. So I've been taking vitamin D now for about a year though. So it just started thundering and lightning outside, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me over that. Alright, so the last thing that I'm looking at doing that will still be considered holistic would be the acupuncture. So I had been seeing a chiropractor. I had seen him up until about right after my last IUI in March to help out with the stiffness in my neck, which is completely free of pain. And I mean, I'm just going to be stiff. That's just the way I'm going to be. But the pain is gone, so thank you, Jesus, for that. So I really haven't seen him since, but he does acupuncture, and I have been getting acupuncture treatment from him for my upper back neck area. So my last thing that I'm going to try to do is to do the fertility acupuncture. One of you suggested that I do that it worked for you, even with your donor's sperm count being extremely low. You were still able to conceive, so therefore I am going to try it. She did suggest that I do it 3 or 4 times the week of the IUI. I believe she said she did it 2 times before, maybe 1 time after, or either 3 times before and 1 time after the IUI, but all like within a week. So I'm definitely going to try that. So that is the last thing I'm going to do holistically to help increase my chances of conception. So now moving on to the other option, which is not really an option, is the second thing, like the second phase that I am also going to try to help with my chances of conception, and that is injectable IUI. That is the title of this video, and that is something I just found out about, and it wasn't from my doctor. So I kind of stumbled upon this. I was trying to upload my video for my office reveal. It was a suggested video, and it was of a young lady who had been going through IUIs unsuccessfully and was trying to do an injectable IUI cycle. Of course, my mouth hit the floor, my heart felt crushed, because I was like, why did I not know about this? Like, why did my doctor not mention this to me as an option? So that is a big question that I have for him. Who knows what his answer is going to be, but he also did say that he did not recommend I do IVF, which is another reason why I'm not doing IVF. The main reason is the budget. It's not in a budget. I've already gone $10,000 in for IUI. My ultimate budget for IUI was just $3,000. So I'm already 3 times that budget. I still have to wait for my refund to get approved for the 3 vials of semen that I still have for donor number 1, which will bring it down to about $9,000. But even so, an IVF starts at $17,000. So we're looking at the $9,000, $10,000 I've already spent, and then added on an additional $17,000. That's $27,000. And as a teacher, I just don't have that in my budget to answer that question about why I didn't do IVF or why I'm not trying IVF. IVF is just not in it for me right now. I have made the plan that when I'm trying for pregnancy number 2, because I will be 40 or in my 40s at that time, that I'm definitely going with IVF. It just increases your chances tremendously, and by that time I will be older, my egg quality will be weaker, so I am definitely going to try it then. Hopefully by then also I will have greater income and can afford it without it becoming a financial hindrance. So to jump into the injectable IUI, so now to jump back into the injectable IUI. So it is recommended that if you go through unsuccessful cycles of a Clomid IUI, that you try the injectable IUIs. So out of my 4 IUIs, 2 of them were Clomid IUIs. IUI number 2 and 3 were both Clomid. IUI number 2 was in October of 2017. I didn't have any negative side effects from the Clomid, other than the fact that I only ovulated 1 follicle that cycle. Prior to that, I have always had multiple follicles, even one point having 5. I had 2 on the right and 3 on the left, all at the same time. So it went from me always naturally producing multiple follicles to me only producing 1 on the Clomid. Second time for Clomid was in November for that IUI. Again, 1 follicle. But that time I got really sick with migraines. I was blacking out and I had dizzy spells from the Clomid. So after that I just said no more Clomid. So here's how that process works for the injectable IUI, as well as how much the medicine would possibly cost. So for the injectable IUI, like I said, it's recommended if you've had Clomid IUI and they were unsuccessful, which in this case I have had 2 out of 4. I am looking at the Gynodotrofen. I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. Gynodotrofen. The nickname is, I think, Gyno F, which is makes me think of gonorrhea. I'm sorry. That's what it makes me think of. That's what came to mind. Alright, so what it is a follicle stimulating hormone that is injected on day 3 of your cycle. You will go to your doctor. They will do the blood work and the ultrasound, kind of like what I did a year ago when I went to the doctor for day 3 to start off my IUI cycle. I went in, we had the blood work, we had my ultrasound, and From there, they would go on to let me know if I need to start taking the injections or if we need to wait another cycle. So you would start taking injections on day 3. You would do injections 6 to 10 days of that cycle. Meanwhile, you would continue to visit your doctor 3 or 4 times throughout that week and a half so that they can continue to do blood work and ultrasounds, checking and monitoring the growth of your follicle. So, follicle's good, then you're told to go ahead and do your Iverdrill shot, which I still have mine from March because if you remember, I didn't need it. I actually ovulated naturally the day before I was supposed to take the Iverdrill. So I still have my Iverdrill, so I won't have to worry about paying for that. Iverdrill is about $107, I think. Yeah, it's $107, something else that the insurance doesn't cover. So my plan is to try 3 more cycles. Hoping that financially that is something that I can do. I don't know at this point financially if I can do 3 cycles of injectable. And the way the injectable cycles go, let's say we do injectables for this next cycle coming up. If it's not successful, I will have to skip a whole cycle before trying again. And my original goal was to try 3 cycles back to back to just enhance my odds, because I have not done 3 or 4 back to back. I did the first one in July, 2 and 3 were October and November, and then 4 was in March. So I haven't like done them back to back to really just test to see what my body's doing and what's going on with my body. So that's my downfall with the injectables, is that you will have to space it out and do every other month if I were to do injectables the whole time, because you have to give your body enough time to get rid of all of those hormones and kind of neutralize back to your normal states. So, alright, so I do have a price for you because I know that's what we're waiting for, but the price varies depending on the dosage of Gyno F that you receive. So this is based on, I believe it's 1050 milligrams, grams. I don't even know what the measurement is. But so the price of that would be $1,187, and that is not including insurance. So like I said, my insurance won't cover anything, so I know that I'm going to have to pay for this because it doesn't even cover the Iverdrill. So now it's just me asking the doctor, like, is this something that you think will help me? As some of you know, I am 38 years old. I will be 39 next month, June 18th. And I am not going to have my IUI until after I am 39, because otherwise I would be having it this current cycle. And that was just a no-go, since I'm still in school and we're testing and it's a whole lot of stress going on with me figuring out where I'm going to teach next year. And then I'm moving and, you know, moving all my stuff, packing things, books and everything, moving that stuff around. So I didn't want to do it now. And I had said that I wanted to wait until I was done with school and didn't have to worry about that stress. So that's putting me sometime in the summer for me to have my next IUI. That would be IUI number 5. Oh, Jesus. So I'm going to talk to my doctor and see what he says about it. I just found out about the injectable IUIs, and just looking at the research, like I said, they're still not sure if it really does make a difference. They can't say, and when you're looking at pregnancy, I guess it's hard to say, because it really just it depends on timing. Like, if it's your time. If it's not your time, it's not going to work. It doesn't matter what you do, it's just not going to work. If it is the time, then it will work. Which puts me at a hard place, because, you know, as a Christian, you know that you just have to accept God's will. And I just don't believe that it's God's will for me to not become a mom, to not become pregnant. Just don't know when. You know, that's the only thing. It's like, I don't know when. I still have such a strong desire in my heart to become a mom, and I know that God places those desires on your heart. And as long as that desire is there, I'm going to do whatever I can do to get pregnant. For those of you who this is your first time joining me, I'm single. Like, I'm single, I'm happily single. But like I said, I'm about to be 39 years old, and I have wanted to be a mom as long as I can remember. And I feel like at times, by me waiting for Mr. Right, I might have blown my opportunity to become a mother. It's like you do the right things and it just seems like you're being punished, because you turn around and you look out and you see all these people who aren't married, who aren't even financially stable, who are even abusive to the current children that they have, who just keep getting pregnant. And I just want to let you know that God will give you all the strength you need to stay strong and to stay faithful and to believe. And last Sunday was Mother's Day, and I wasn't expecting this from the pastor. You know, he said something about how many women in the Bible were struggling to conceive, because he like said a prayer for like all the moms and the grandmoms, and then he said a prayer for those of us who have been trying and just have not been successful. And he was just like how there were so many women in the Bible who wanted so badly to become a mom. Like, look at Sarah. God promised her and it still took years. But the one thing that helped me was that every single one of those women became a mom. So even looking at Sarah in her old age, she still became a mom. So I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to that faith. That no woman will be left barren. Regardless of what I see in the world, regardless of what I know, I'm holding on to that. My rainbow baby is coming. I know. I just have to hold on and be strong and believe that it's going to come. So I'm going to go now. Because and my fur baby's outside the door coughing up a hairball. So on that note, I will see you guys next week. I've already started recording for that, so I know I will have footage. I will actually have a vlog for that. I'm going to go to make sure my fur baby is okay. Again, make sure if you haven't done so already, you subscribe, you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload, and you give this video a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, don't give it a thumbs down. Why even watch a video and you don't like it? I don't know. But I'll see you guys later. Stay hopeful and just don't give up. Don't give up. Never give up on becoming a mom. If that is your dream, or becoming a dad, for the men out there who are watching, because there are some of you. Thank you. Like, don't give up. Just don't give up. The baby is coming. Some way, somehow, it's coming. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.